Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.
All right, welcome to the Primetime College Hoops podcast, part of the Prime Coverage Sports Network. My name is Jim Weglars, a.k.a. Wegs. You can follow me on X and on Instagram at Wegspool. Mr. Cassanova.
Yes, this is Cassanova. You can follow me on Facebook at Kenny Cassanova. Check me out on Renegade Rundown, Tuesdays, 6 Eastern. And you can catch me right here on Primetime College Hoops.
Yeah, we've got of course, follow the network, PCSN Media on Facebook, on X. We've got the con man, aka the Oracle, struggling with his internet. We're going to try him just in a minute. Let's see if he can pop back on. He's going to restart his router so we can get things going. So how are you, Mr. Casanova? You doing good? You feeling good? Good week so far?
Yeah, it's been a real good week. Outside of my picks, but it's been a good week outside of that. Outside of that, for sure.
I think you did okay. You had a good weekend, a tough week. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
I did terribly. I did terribly this week. So
yeah,
it's a tough. So we're gonna try the con man right now. Let's see if it works. Just to see if he's frozen again. Let's see if it works. Internet. You gotta love the internet.
Gotta love it.
Con man, are you there? Can you hear us? Or to the Oracle. I think he's still frozen. We'll take him off. Keep messaging him, Kenny. I guess we'll see what happens. We'll get him on eventually.
Gotcha.
Let's talk about some of these games from last week. We had the first one, Arizona against Houston.
Yeah.
And we talked about it's going to be a big week for Houston. They had already come off the loss. They kind of blew that game. Was it Iowa State or whatever? They blew it, and then they had their chance here. But you know what? Arizona came in. They didn't have Koa Pete, but they dominated this team. They trailed 2 times in the game by 1 point early in the second half. Otherwise, Arizona just shut down the Cougars and had a 10-minute field goal drought. They won the game 73-76 on Houston's floor. That doesn't happen too often. What did you think of this game?
So, yeah, man, I watched this from the beginning to the end. And out the gate, I noticed Arizona was on a mission. They looked like they was on a mission because everybody, like us, we doubted them. I was like, there's no way, man. They're missing one of their key guys. There's no way that they're going to be able to go to Houston and win. They showed me, hey, we are still a good team without our leading scorer.
Right.
I like the one kid. I don't want to mess up his name. Is it number 3?
Number 3 on Houston or on Arizona?
No, Arizona. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Something. I don't want to mess up.
You keep talking. I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, he was the one that was making all the threes, all the big shots when they needed to be made down the stretch. Him and Bradley. They started as the game was getting closer and Houston was getting back into the game. They started making the clutch shots to continue to push the lead out. I was noticing that.
It's Del Orso, Anthony Del Orso.
Yeah, that's him. That is him. He was clutch.
Yeah.
They were clutch, man. They were just making the necessary plays. They weren't big, flashy. It was the necessary plays to win a big game on the road.
Oh, great. Well, we got one of our guys from the network on here. Hey, Andrew. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us. Talking some college basketball, getting ready for the big dance here. I agree. So Arizona took care of business. One thing I'll say about Houston, and we will talk about them again, is that they don't really have a big that can score. It's like Sinak is a good ball player.
Yeah.
He can get rebounds. He's active. He even can make some shots. But nobody posts up on this team. It's all outside play. So they've got 3 good guards, but they don't really drive to the bucket enough for me, and they don't have somebody who could just kind of get a bucket in the paint. And that may cost them down the stretch. Now, granted, we've seen Arizona bounce back after losing 2. Maybe Houston can do the same.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping for because they're on the slide right now. They need it from bad.
That's right. Well, here's a game we did not expect, right? Duke against Michigan. We all picked Michigan. We love Michigan. And Michigan had size, except the Dukies decided to out-rebound them 41-27 in this game. I was a little shocked, Kenny. I was like, wait a second. Don't they have those big dudes? I mean, Mara got in foul trouble for the Wolverines, and they kind of shut down the guards. I had mentioned that. We talked just at the end. I'm like, maybe, the Duke guards could do something, and they did dominate the Michigan guards, just made them really uncomfortable playing the half court, and they win this kind of in a slugfest, 68-63. I thought it was going to be a lot more points in this game. So what did you think of this game, Kenny?
Yeah, I did not expect a defensive game from this one. This was a chess match, and I thought personally it came down to coaching.
Yes, I think so too.
Game, you can see the noticeable difference. What I seen in this game was, from the Duke perspective, was we're not going to force the ball to Cam Boozer. We're going to allow the game to come to him, because that's what I was worried about. Remember when I was going to the game, I said, if they force this ball to Cam Boozer all night, but I think they'll switch off, which they did, have with so many multiple defenders being thrown at them. What they did was say, you know what, let the guard play today. Let the guards loose. We're going to let them play, get them big men into situations where you're going to have to pick and choose on the pick and roll. I'm going to make you have to make a decision. And that's exactly what they did. And I was surprisingly shocked that Michigan didn't dominate more on the inside. That was one of the most shocking things. And then to see they got out-rebounded by so much.
Yes.
More shocking. I'm like, wow, they didn't flip the script on us. But coaching, I think it comes back to coaching. I want to give a shout out to Duke's coach, man. He had a game plan, and the kids believed in it, and they stuck with it.
Yeah, Shire can coach, and he won't get ACC Player of the Year.
Yeah, right.
Or ACC Coach of the Year, but the dude can coach, and we'll see when he wins the big one. We'll see what happens. Next game, we talked about your team. You did pick against your team. I know you got your jersey for the Iowa State Cyclones,
right?
But you and Michael, the Oracle, saw something in the future that BYU was going to come get off the mat after losing all those games. And then your guy, AJ Devonta, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, almost a triple-double. They took him down easy, 79-69. It was at BYU, but you called it. I mean, a little bit, Iowa State just played a little flat, and we're playing at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like I said, I feel like this was the life jacket game for BYU. Mm-hmm. I really did. I was like, if they're going to get off the mat, it's going to be this game, because Iowa State is coming on such a high. It's so high. And in the Big 12, like we said, you can't get too high.
Rugged.
You get too high, you will be brought right back down to earth. And I think that's what happened with Iowa State. They got brought back down to earth. And I thought AJ Devonta, what else can we say about him? I mean,
it's good.
He's just a bucket getter. And what he showed in this game is I'm a playmaker as well. It's not just about my point. I can make for my teammates and make them elevate their games just a little bit to help me out to be able to get this victory, man.
Yeah, it's funny. Like they win this game and turn around and lose to Central Florida 2 days later. But you know what? You're right. They played the big game. They can do this. They've done this all season. Mitch Ritchie Saunders, but Devonta can make it happen and take over a game. So you remember, when we come to tournament time in 3 weeks, we know who AJ is. Some people may not know who AJ is. We know AJ.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay, we moved to the Monday night games, which were also really good. The Tar Heels. I don't know if we liked the Tar Heels. I can't remember. I have to go back and listen. But I thought that Louisville would play better in this game. But I forgot this stat, Kenny. I screwed up. It was my fault. As the host, I should know these things. Did you know North Carolina going in this game was 14-0 at home? And so then became 15-0 after this win, 77-74. They kind of ran out on it. And then Louisville made it come back and made it interesting at the end. Seth Trimble for North Carolina, 30 points. Dude is super athletic, really good two-way guard. So it was good to see in North Carolina. I mean, got another big win, so they're definitely safely in the tournament.
Yeah, I picked UNC because I said, home court advantage. I said I don't have nothing else to stand on but the home court advantage in this game. I thought UNC. I said because at home, a lot of times when you're missing guys, the best place you would be is at home because the role players play a lot better at home than they do on the road, and they leaned into that all the way. UNC played a heck of a game. Louisville, of course, they made it tough. But UNC prevailed. UNC is a really good team. I think they're going to be a very interesting tournament team. Yeah, they're going to be interesting because these are one of the years where, like I said, it's not a dominant team this year.
Right.
So it could be a team that we're not even thinking about, like a UNC, to sneak up and get to the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16 this year.
It might actually help them that they're playing without Caleb Wilson right now, because then they can gel as a team. He comes back, gives them a boost, right in time for the ACC tournament. I think he's supposed to be out another week with that broken hand. We'll see what happens. And then the other Monday night game, we talked about a little bit, Rock Chalk back. You didn't trust me. I told you Kansas is good at home. Honestly, when they got beat by Cincinnati on Saturday, I was like, oh boy, those guys are going to roast me next week because I was promoting Kansas. But they turned around and they early in the game, kind of similar. Houston looked like they were the better team. And then all of a sudden, that defense just turned up for the Jayhawks. And more importantly, they had guys hitting jumpers, deep. The kid from White, who used to be from Illinois, played really good. And then more importantly, they just shut down. Houston only scored like 18 points over like 18 minutes at one stretch. And it was like all she wrote. So they won the game pretty easily, 69-56. Same issues I said before. No inside presence for Houston. It's all outside shooting for the most part. If they don't get turnovers and get easy buckets, it's harder for them to keep up.
I think that was one of the shocking things for me in this game with Houston is that I knew that they didn't have like a down low presence, but I didn't think it was so bad until I actually watched them in this last week struggle with teams who have some inside presence,
Right.
And you're watching them against shot blockers and stuff like that. They struggle a lot. When they have to go against a shot block, and that scares me going into tournament time because every team's going to have that big shot blocker guy who's going to patrol the paint, patrol around that mid-range area, and that's where a lot of their guards like to get their best shots at and their most effective shots. And so Houston's going to have to figure some things out. They'll have to figure some things out. The good part is you got a little bit of time, but you do got time.
Yeah. I mean, Flemings is a heck of a player still, right? But, he's a little slighter built guy. Obviously, Sharp's a good shooter. Usan is a good guard. But like you said, I think they're going to have to get easier buckets. And in the first two rounds of the tournament, who cares? They're going to strangulate teams. It's not going to matter. If they play a Florida, they play Michigan, somebody who's got some size, it's going to be rough for them. It's going to be real rough.
I agree with that right there. That's what I'm scared of. If they get like a draw of Michigan on their side or something like that, or Florida, them teams are they're going to smother them. And that's going to be the problem. They're going to smother them.
They are. Last game we went over, which I guess wasn't a surprise, but the finished result was a surprise. The Huskies of UConn got the full revenge against St. John. We knew that they were going to win the game. That wasn't the issue. It was just, I didn't think St. John's was going to miss. I think they missed like 20 shots in a row. They shot 19.6% from the field in this game, Kenny. I heard all about, the defense was so great. 19.6% has nothing. It has a lot to do with you can't hit a bucket. And they lose the game 72-40. 40 points. Rick Pitino in his entire career has never had a result with 40 points on his side. So the rough game. I turned it off when they were up by like 27.
You say you turned it off. I did too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Once it got to a certain point, I think it was like 56-31, or something like that. And I was like, oh yeah, this game's in hand. I can go ahead and go to sleep. These dudes were it was bad. It was really bad. They were putting hands, feet, elbows all over them. And then not just that, like you said, it's not about necessarily the defense. They couldn't make anything.
Oh,
They was in the middle of the ocean with a rock, and they couldn't hit the ocean.
they
And,
missed it.
and
Skipped
they
on the top.
that's how bad they were missing. And I'm just like, it's not like they're bad quality shots. They're just missing. And it was so bad. But UConn, I knew they were going to get their revenge. I did.
Yeah.
But the way they got
do you think this is more a statement on how good UConn's defense is or how bad the St. John's offense can be?
No, how bad the St. John's offense is. You can shoot 25% without trying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, I knew UConn was going to win, but this is more of an indictment on St. John's. And there's something to keep your eyes open about, because I've seen this type of performance happen in the tournament last year with them, where they just had a bad in the game they lost, they had a bad stretch of shoot. They couldn't make nothing. Right. It's like, I'm hoping that's not coming back this year on them, where, they're going to just shoot bad going into the tournament. That your defense can't hold up if you're shooting 19%.
Right. All right, we're going to try to add the Oracle back. Let's try one more time. Let's see if the Oracle, can he hear us? That's the question. Technical difficulties. Let's see. I pressed add. Is he coming aboard? Michael, where are you? Are you in space? I don't know, man. He's still a blank screen right now. I don't know what's happening. All right. Well, I'm going to take you off stage just for now. We'll get you back on, Conman, as soon as we see more effort. Anyway, let's talk. It was kind of interesting before the Duke game. I should have waited till Sunday. Before the Duke game, I believe they did the bracket reveal at the NCAA tournament, said, hey, who we got here, who's the top seeds. They made Michigan the number 1 overall seed, and then they go out and get beat. Maybe they saw that and were feeling themselves. But they broke down the top 16 seeds. Let's go over them real quick and kind of talk about what you think about it. As I just mentioned, Michigan was the 1 overall on Saturday. I think that's changed now. Yeah. Houston would be the 2 seed. This is all in the Midwest. So they give you preference to your region. Let's say if you're like a Florida and you're the best team, they'd put you in the South, right? Yeah. In this case, Michigan, Midwest, which is played at, I think it's Chicago, actually. And then you've got so you got Michigan number 1 overall. Houston would be the 2 seed in the Midwest. This is as of last week. I think they're going to drop. They'd be the 6th overall seed. Florida would be the 3 seed in this region, 9th overall. And then you got the Virginia, who would be the lowest overall 16 seed in this grouping for the 4 seed. I mean, what do you think? Yeah, obviously, this is before the games on Saturday, or maybe they factored in the Houston loss. Yeah. What do you think when you see this?
Houston, these are the 2 worst teams. We just talked about this. Houston, this was the worst. You better hope this is not true, because this is the worst possible draw for you.
Yes.
You're Houston. If you're Florida, I'm not going to lie to you. I love Florida out of this mix.
I love Florida in this mix.
Yeah, because of Michigan not being crazy at the guard position, it's all even now. It's all about height and size. And Florida, with their championship experience, I probably would take Florida out of that bunch right there.
How can you make Florida the 3 seed? How can you make them a 3 seed? This team keeps winning.
Move up. Yeah, this is a lie. They're going to move up.
At some point, they're going to put Florida. And the next time they do this, I know that they just did it from last week, but at some point, Florida's at least a 2 seed. If they're a 3 seed, whoever's the 2 and the 1 in that bracket, they're going to be like, "What did we do? What did we do? We earned a 1 seed, and we got to play Florida. We earned a 2 seed. We got to play Florida, in the Sweet 16." All right, in the East, in DC, we've got a Jay Howe. Looks like he loves the number 1 in this one, and that is Duke, who would be the number 2 seed overall. This is what's posted last week. We know that's going to change now. Yeah, definitely. And they were the 2 overall. I think they're moving to 1. Mm-hmm. Then you've got Illinois as the 2 seed, which is listed as the 7th best team, and then Kansas as the 3, as the 10th best, overall, and then Vandy as the 4 seed is at 15. So I don't know, man. I know Illinois is probably going to be a 2 seed. I don't want to see Duke in the bracket if I'm an Illinois fan.
No.
The fact that they're the 7th best team, ooh, that's tough. I mean, I guess I'll have to look at some of the other ones that are down there. I guess I want to see Houston 6. That's tough.
Yeah,
What is your reaction to this initial bracket?
So initially, Duke looks like they're going to be good. They look like they're going to be straight in this bracket. Even going against a Kansas, which I think will be a little bit of a tough matchup. Now, it'll be a little bit of a tough matchup. You know, Coach Self got that experience factor.
That's
so
right.
I think that definitely could be a problem. But Cam Boozer, there it is. We got Cam Boozer, and you don't. I think the tournament is going to show a lot of that, especially because he's a big time player. Like you can just tell, even when they played Saturday, he let the game come to him, and then when it was time to make a play, I got it. I got it, and I just like that. I think that's a good formula for them. Kansas probably would be their toughest matchup though in that bracket. Well, out of the first 4 seeds, but I like Duke. I do.
Yeah. Well, they'll be the 1 seed, and then maybe they do the East. Maybe DC's better than going to Houston for them. They get to choose if they're the overall 1 seed. And the one other thing we'll say about Vandy, I'm not a buyer on Vandy. I mean, they're good. They're a good basketball team. They're better than they've been in years. I'm not sure they're a top 16 team. They're right on that fringe. We'll talk about some teams that aren't included in a second. So now in the South, again, this is previous to losing the Cyclones losing. They would be the number 1 seed in Houston in the South as the 4th best 1 seed. And then you've got UConn as the 2. That's no gift as the 5th best. Nebraska at the 3 as the 11th best. And then Texas Tech at the 4 with 13th best. This is what I call the bracket of death. I mean, like Iowa State gets UConn, and now Texas Tech's injured, but they're going to be a tough out still. And Nebraska's no slouch. This is a tough little grouping here.
Yeah, there is not an easy team out of none of the top 4 seeds that we're seeing. There's not a walkthrough game where you're like, oh yeah, no, we'll take care of that. No, they're all tough teams, and then you got UConn. It was just if I'm Iowa State, I'm like, listen, anything but this, anything but this. I like Iowa State, I do.
I know you're the Cyclone guy.
The Cyclone Dance will be alive and well, but UConn is the worst possible matchup for Iowa State. I do. I don't like that matchup. And in Nebraska, not slouches either. And in Texas Tech, like you said, they're going to be tough even without their best player.
Yeah, even without Toppin.
Yeah, you're right. This is the death row.
And Tech has actually won 2 games without Toppin. Now, granted, they didn't play great teams, but they blew the doors off of somebody the first game without him, and then they won again last night. So I think they'll still be pretty tough. And then the West, right? And again, this is all based on Saturday, but whenever they put this out before the Duke-Michigan game, because clearly Duke would have been number 1. You've got Arizona as the 1 seed in the West at San Jose. They would be the top 3 overall seed according to this. Then you got Purdue at the 2 seed, who's the 8th best. Gonzaga, who's the 3 seed at the 12th best, and Michigan State as the 4 seed at the 14th best. Again, Michigan's a top 10 team in KenPom. They're right there with Gonzaga and Purdue. Like this 2, 3, 4 here is really strong, and I think Arizona's probably the 2nd best team. Like them and Michigan are right there. I don't know, dude. This is a tough division too. I think that they'd have to reshuffle this. You can't give some guys like a walk in the park, and then you've got this. This is a tough division. You know how Sparty's going to be. You know how Tom Izzo's going to be as a 4 seed. Come on.
Yeah, he's gonna have them guys ready, man. This is definitely an interesting bracket for sure. Arizona, to me, because they would have to see Michigan State before they even would advance to like the Elite 8 and all. I don't know if I necessarily like that matchup for them.
I don't.
Doing Gonzaga is very interesting. I think Gonzaga is a really good tournament team. Every year, for some reason, they're just a really good tournament team. Like I was talking to somebody about Gonzaga. I was like, Gonzaga is like 27-2. I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it. I'm like, they're always around this record. Like people like they don't play nobody, but when they get in the tournament, they play teams and they beat them.
Yeah,
So
they've got great talent.
that's
Yeah.
what I said. They just got great talent up there. So I think they're going to be a tough out. I actually would. I might like them out of that 4 right there.
Yeah, even on Arizona, huh?
State, them or Michigan State out of that 4, but I like Gonzaga.
Yeah, I mean, if this was the West, it's because Gonzaga's in the West. Arizona's in the West too, so it's no, you're kind of giving a penalty to Arizona, and they're the third best. I don't know. To me, I do think when they redo this, Arizona's probably going to be the second best overall seed. Then it's Michigan. I think it's going to be like Duke, Arizona, then Michigan, and I don't think it's going to be Iowa State. I think Houston's kind of faltered. UConn's probably right there, depending on if they win the Big East tournament. But I'm telling you, do not sleep on Florida. If Florida is a 3 seed, they are going to be pissed off and they're going to roll. Here's a couple teams I thought should have been included in this top 16. And I mean, we've seen them play. Come on, dude. Where's Arkansas? Arkansas is really good.
Yeah.
Like Arkansas I think they're better than Vanderbilt. So I understand when they did this right at that second in time. I mean, they're going to get a chance. They're going to play Florida this weekend, so we'll see what happens. And I did, before I wrote this in the article, sorry, Kenny, I failed you. I thought St. John's play a little bit better and say they were top 16 before last night. So I'm going to retract that statement. But I think there's other teams in there that could be better in this top 16. I think Vandy's definitely one that's going to drop. Maybe Texas Tech hangs in there still. And Virginia, again, I'm a little down on the ACC myself, so I would like to see another team, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. This would be that Florida thing right there. Having them at 3 could be very detrimental to everybody who's in that bracket. Because we're 3. How?
Yeah.
We're killing everybody that we see. We're on a hot streak right now. We're probably going to win the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
Hey, good luck to you guys.
Good luck if you put them at the 3.
Right.
Well, let's look at now. This is based on Joe Lenardi will put up a new bracketology tomorrow. I follow him. He does it a couple times a week. Later in about a week or 2, he's going to start doing every day because everything's so hot. Yeah. But let's go over his last 4 buys, last 4 ends, and so forth. A lot of this will change tomorrow because, I mean, there's so much action as we talked about last week. Every game has impact. And, I mean, Texas, for example, I actually think they played pretty good against Florida at one point, but they got beat by Georgia this week. They went to Florida and lost eventually by double digits. They do have to go play A&M this weekend. So I don't think they're going to be in the buys. I think they're going to be in the last 4 in when he does it tomorrow. Did you get to watch Texas, Florida at all last night?
I actually did. And then I actually watched them against Georgia because I did want to let me see, because I know you bring them up a lot. And I'm like, you know what? Let me check out Texas this year and see what they're about. They're not a bad team.
No.
I think they need I do think they need a nice run in the SEC tournament. I do. I think a couple of wins in the SEC tournament would go a long way for them, for sure. Plus, they got to win the next game, of course. But just them, I think they're going to be right on that last 4 in, like right there. Yep. I do think it's going to be like that. But from what I've seen, they're not a bad team.
No, they got 2 NBA players in that team, and they've got a big guy. They just, they don't have the depth that like Florida has. Florida's. And then UCLA, like they're going to be solidly in now. They beat, as we said last week, Illinois. They beat USC. They're not going to be on the buys. They're going to be up there. They're not going to be like a 7 seed. They'll probably be like a 6 seed now. Yeah. Here's a team I want to talk about though: Auburn. What is the deal with Auburn? Do they have some like pictures on a commissioner or something? This team has lost 13 games, and they've been like 1-7 against the spread. I know that doesn't matter, but they're a team you can't count on. They just lost at Oklahoma. How is this team still like considered? I mean, I guess they have good ratings, like their KenPom rating and net ratings high, but they've been milking the early wins in the season because they've just been falling flat in SEC.
And that's what I think they're doing. They're milking their early wins because I watched them play, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, this is not a tournament team, not this year.
I don't think so.
You can't rely on years past, and I think a lot of times, people get caught up on years past because they have been a really good tournament team, for the last couple seasons and things like that. But you can't rely on that now. This is a new year. This is new teams, and they're not a tournament team to me at all.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
They would need an SEC championship to prove to me that they're.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, are they going to have 15 losses? They're going to get in with 15 losses? Come on,
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
You can't have teams like VCU or some of the other teams we'll talk about on the outside looking in. Indiana's kind of similar. They kind of had some big wins early, but they can't sustain anything. They lost to Northwestern last night at home. I mean, come on. Like, this team, I like the Hoosiers. I've got friends that went to school there. Great. But this is one of those teams. It's okay to not have 11 SEC teams in the tournament, right? It's okay not to have 10 Big Ten teams in a tournament. It's okay. There's other good teams out there.
Yes, I feel the same way. Everybody don't have to go to the dance.
Right.
Some people can be left at home. I think Indiana's going to be one of those teams because, losing Northwestern at home, it's embarrassing. And it's late in the season. It's not like, early on you can excuse some losses. But this is, we already know who you guys are. That's what I'll be trying to tell people. I'm like, this late in the season, we know who you are as a team already. You can't hide it. You can't put no makeup on it. We know who you are. And so a team like that, they can be out the tournament. I wouldn't lose no sleep over it.
I mean, it's March on Sunday, Kenny. Come on, we're flipping the script. We're ready for the tournament here. Yeah. Let's talk about the last four in. Again, this is on the 24th. So this is a couple days ago, which for people who are just listening and just tuning into college basketball, look, every night matters now because there's some of these great matchups. Santa Clara last night was last four in. They lose to St. Mary's and really weren't that competitive. I want them to make it in. We were looking up on my other podcast, Side Action. It was like they haven't made the tournament since 96. So that's 30 years. Now, that wasn't Steve Nash, we don't think. We were trying to look it up. They had went in 93 with Steve Nash. I don't know if he was still on the team in 96. But, my buddy went to Santa Clara, so we know. But I want them to make the tournament, but come on, man. You gotta win these games. I know they're on the road, but at this point now they're kind of up against it. They're going to have to probably win against St. Mary's in the tournament to make it in because all these games matter. Yeah.
You got to be competitive.
Yeah.
You got to be competitive. You can't. This is not the time to get blown out by anybody. This is not the time for it. This is not the time for it because, like I said, the eyes are watching you. Every night means something. All the people that are going to determine your fate is watching you now. All right, is this team even good enough to even be with the field, or are they just barely out? And so when you're not competing late in the season, have to question that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Then we got Missouri. This is a team that I've been kind of shitting on them a little bit. Sorry guys, I've been crapping on them a little bit, but they did get the big win over Tennessee, who's been very solid this year. Yeah. I still don't trust them in the tournament, but they got a big win, so I'll give you your flowers. You're probably going to be on the right side of the bubble now, even though your metrics aren't that great. And TCU is kind of like that too. Every game, it's like, are you in or are you out? Are you in or are you out? They get an easy win over Arizona State. They've got some pretty easy games. Maybe they can stack some wins, and that'll get them in.
Yeah, like you said, back and forth because you can tell by the record in the Big 12, they're 8 and 7. 8 and 7. Yep. That's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, if they can stack together some wins, I wouldn't mind seeing TCU in the tournament. I would not mind seeing
dangerous.
Yeah.
And then New Mexico, and this is another team that I want them to make it. Mountain West teams, I always cheer for Mountain West because of my alma mater's Colorado State. But I don't know about this team because they face off against they have to play San Diego State on Saturday. So that's a big game that we're not going to go over. But for them, it's a huge game. They get to play them at home. If they beat San Diego State, they're probably on the right side of the bubble. they're showing them in the right side, but I don't believe in them as much as San Diego State, which is right now first 4 out, and they beat Utah State last night handily. So it's put up or shut up, Lobos. You got to win this game on Saturday, otherwise I think you're on the wrong side until you get to your tournament.
Correct. Yep. And that's why, like I said, these teams playing late in the season, very important games. Very important games. You must either win or compete.
Yes.
Win or compete. You have to show that you can hang with the teams that's in your conference, because at this point in those conferences like that, it's either going to be either or. It's more than likely not going to be both of you guys. And
That's
so
right.
winning is paramount in these situations. San Diego State they have an amazing opportunity to go ahead and move into the last four in with possibly a win over New Mexico. But if you're New Mexico, you got to hold it down. You have to hold it down. It's a huge spot here.
And then some teams that are just falling off. I mean, Ohio State, this team, again, metrically, they've got good numbers in Ken Palm in the net, but they lose against, they always play hard. But sorry, Iowa takes them down. Now they've got to beat Purdue on Sunday. Did you know, Kenny, they're 1-10 against quad one teams this year. So, and that one win was Northwestern, who just snuck into that quad. They're like 83rd, 81st or something. And so they were 0-10 before that little change, because Northwestern, won their game. Mm-hmm. So I don't trust Ohio State at all. I think Ohio State should definitely not be in this tournament. I don't care if they're 9-8 in the Big Ten. They beat the bad teams and lose to the good teams.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I watched them play. I actually watched them play against who did they play? And was it UCLA? Mm-hmm. Did they play UCLA? I want to say it was UCLA I watched them play against. And I thought that they played really well in that game. They end up was it UCLA or USC? It might have been USC, I think.
Maybe USC. They played Michigan State a week ago. Yeah, they played a lot of teams lately. Yeah,
that's what I'm not trying to run it together. But yeah, they played against USC. I thought that was a good moment, but then after that, then you have the bad moment right after that.
Right.
You lose right after, and it's just like the flip-flopping. Y'all, it's like either be on good side of history or the bad side. Mm-hmm. Stop with the wishy-washy, the back and forth, because that'll get you being first 4 out.
Right. They beat USC at home. Mm-hmm. Then they beat by Virginia. They beat Wisconsin, which is a big win at home. Yeah. But then they lose on the road at Michigan State and Iowa. So it's like if they're at home, they play okay. Road, they can't get it done. They obviously lost at Wisconsin earlier. So they play Purdue now, and then they got 2 winnable games. Like, show me that you can compete with Purdue. You're playing at home. This is your big shot. Yes. Otherwise, I just don't trust you. If you haven't beaten, if you're 1-10 against quad one teams, all the teams in the tournament are basically quad one, except for the guys that are, in small conferences. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to show something. Like I said, compete with Purdue. For sure.
And USC is our next team. I don't know, dude. I was like all team USC a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, oh, this team's pretty good. Look at their record. Yeah. And they've lost at Ohio State. They've lost against Illinois, but they lost against Oregon at home. That was bad. And now they lost at UCLA, but it wasn't even close. They got beat by 19. They got thumped. So they play Nebraska next at home, and then Washington and UCLA again. So I don't see this team making it at 7-10 from the Big Ten, even though it's been a tough conference. Maybe if they win out and get a couple games in the tournament, but I think this team's out now.
Yeah, I agree. I was high on them, like you said a couple weeks ago, going into the Ohio State game, but then they're losing that, and they just been on a slide, man. It's just too late this season for this. It really is. And then they're not to even compete with UCLA, like it wasn't close. It's just a problem, man. The dance is 3 weeks away. You gotta
play your best games.
Yeah, you can't be playing bad going down the stretch.
Yeah, shout out to one of my other hosts, Zell Smith, who's our new host on the Lockdown Coverage podcast. He says Ohio State hasn't been the same for a while. It's true. I don't know what's going on. They're just not the same. So it's okay. Playing the NIT, playing some other tournament. It's all good. Here's a team that did move up a little bit, even though I'm not a big fan of this team. I've said this on this podcast, is Cal. They are 8-7 now in the ACC. They just beat SMU, which is another. SMU was somehow in the tournament, and I think they're pretty wishy-washy. So they've won 3 straight now. They beat Boston College, Stanford, and SMU. Not great teams, and they don't really have a tough team on the rest of their schedule. They play Pitt on Saturday, at Georgia Tech, and at Wake Forest. So they have every opportunity to just solidify their position and move up back on the right side of the bubble.
Yeah, they do. I mean, listen, you can't have no slip-ups. These are all mark them down games and win impressively. You win impressively, man. You're not even on the cusp of possibly getting in. You're in. And
That's right.
It's a chance where you can make a statement, dominate these winnable games, and get yourself into the big dance, man, so that you don't put so much pressure on you in the ACC tournament to have to go win a couple games to even be considered to get in.
Right. Because the ACC tournament is one of those where sometimes some guys have to play like 5 games to win it, and other guys get the double bye and they just have to win 3 games,
Yeah. Yeah. The benefits of being a top seed, man.
That's right. Well, we already talked a little bit about San Diego State. I do think they'll move up because they beat Utah State. They lost to my team, Colorado State, but, that definitely hurt them. But winning at home against Utah State, and, I'm Mr. Moneyline, as you call me, I really thought that team doesn't score a lot of points, and they scored like 90 points yesterday. I'm like, who is this team at home? They were just running and gunning. And I'm like, Utah State put up a fight.
Yeah. Man, hey, so like I said, it's time to show what you got.
Yeah.
It's time to show what you got, man. Hey, don't leave nothing in the holster. Nothing in the holster. Empty everything. Empty everything.
All right. Well, let's go over the games for this weekend and into next week. So we've got some big ones. We start off with tonight. Tonight's a big game. We've got 13th ranked Michigan State at 8th ranked Purdue. This is a real line, 7.5-point favorites for Purdue at home, 142.5-point total. This is on Thursday. This is tonight at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. So, I mean, I don't know. Going to this game, when I saw the original, I thought the line was going to be like 4.5, so not 7.5. But who do you like in this one?
You know what? This is a big game, man. Seating wise, it's tough. I'm gonna take Purdue. I'm gonna take Purdue tonight. I think it's gonna be a closer game. I'm gonna take Purdue. I like them at home. I think they're gonna wear down Michigan State as the game goes along. I think they're gonna be able to wear them down. I think it's gonna be close early, wear them down, and maybe win by 7 to 10 points in the end.
Yeah, I like Purdue too. I think that Jeremy Fear's a good ball player from Michigan State, good point guard. But Braden Smith's an excellent point guard. It's a good matchup there. So it's not like Michigan State doesn't score readily unless they get out in transition or if Fears is breaking down the defense. I think Smith is going to stay in front of him. So I do like Purdue. I don't love that number at 7.5, but I like Purdue to win this game. Michigan State on the road is a little bit different team. They're not going to be able to dominate Purdue on the glass. So we're on the same side here with the Boilers. Boiler up.
Right.
All right. The next game, another Big Ten game on Friday night. I like Friday night action, Cassanova. I don't know about you, but I like Friday night action. This is number 3 Michigan at 10 Illinois. This is at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Look, Michigan's favored, as they should be, a short favorite, 1.5 points on the road, 155.5-point total. I think this game's going to be fun to watch. Going to be up and down. I think both teams can score. So I like over in this game. What do you like in this one? Do you think Michigan's going to shake it off? They kind of got beat by Duke, and they didn't play good this week, but they did win. You think they're going to go to Illinois and take care of business?
That is a good question. This is a tough one, man, because I really do like what I've seen from Illinois thus far.
Me too.
And Michigan is just so dominant, man. And they're going to be mad, too, about losing to Duke the way they lost to Duke.
I think you're right, yeah.
You know what? I'm picking Michigan. I think it
Okay.
might get out of hand. I think this could be one of those where let's establish that we're still the best team in that Big Ten, please. And
Okay.
it could get out of hand.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I do think I thought they were going to be a little bit bigger favorite, and I might have liked Illinois for the
Mm-hmm.
spread, but I think Michigan's a better basketball team. What I
Mm-hmm.
will say about Illinois, though, they've only lost 4 games in the Big Ten, and all of them are very close. They lost 3 of those games in overtime.
Wow.
So 1.5 was not exactly what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think Michigan will win the game. Hopefully, it'll go to overtime and be another great game to watch.
Yeah.
But I'll take Michigan too. I think they're going to win. All right, so let's do ACC on Saturday. This is an early game, noontime for you, 11 for me in the Central, noon on Eastern. That's on ESPN. We've got Virginia at Duke. Virginia's the 11th seeded or 11th ranked team. Duke's number 1 now. This is just an estimate, but I think Duke's going to be a pretty heavy favorite in this game, like 7.5 points. I think the total will be lower though, 138.5 or lower. What do you think about this game? Who do you got in this game?
I think Duke. I just like Duke at home, man. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. This is there. It's a morning game, so he's still rolling out of bed, a beer in one hand, walking to the game, and they're gonna be crazy in there. And I think
Yes, they will.
that stadium, and I think it's gonna be a tough
Camping
place.
out overnight.
Yes, it's gonna be a tough place to even gather your thoughts, let alone your team. So I got
Mhm.
Duke in a dominant fashion, 20+ point blowout.
Whoa, blowout.
Yeah,
Cassanova
yeah,
calling for the blowout.
I'm
You don't
definitely.
believe in the Wahoos. Okay.
Yeah, nah, I like Duke. That home crowd to me is the
Yeah.
reason why I think it's gonna be a blow. You're not gonna be able to gather your thoughts in there, like thinking
Yeah.
it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it is an early matchup. That does hurt
Yeah,
Virginia for this one, but they're just trying to do this kind of like ESPN day where you stay in front of your TV.
all
And I
day.
think it's right. I do think Duke wins the game. I don't know if I think it's a blowout. I mean, I haven't seen Virginia play a lot, so this is a game I'm going to watch and see if they're actually good because look, their record's good. They're 13-2 in the ACC. They're only a game back against Duke, so they win this game, they could win the conference. So I don't know. It's a lot of points for me, even though Duke is really dominant. So I think Duke wins the game for sure. It just matter by how many. So the other game on ESPN, well, there's 2 more. ESPN at 3:00 this time. You've got Kansas, 14th ranked Kansas to Arizona. The Big 12. They're always going to have a big bunch of matchups. I think Arizona's going to be kind of favored in this one by quite a bit, like 8.5 points. How they were favored in the other game. 140.5 point total is an estimate. Who do you like in this one? Who you got?
Man, I got my Spidey tingling senses right here. I might shock everybody with this one. I'm taking Kansas.
Okay. Wow, to win.
I'm going to take Kansas.
Rock Shock Jayhawk on the road.
Yeah, on the road. And the reason why I'm going to take Kansas in this one, I can't believe I'm saying this. Darren Peterson, I think, is going to have an explosion on Saturday. I think he's going to remind people why he's a top prospect going into this draft. I do think he'll play the whole game. Let's put that out there first. I think he'll play the whole game.
Darren,
I think he's going for 25+ in this one.
Okay.
I do. I like him. I like the matchup of him and Arizona's guards. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Kansas they need another stamp win. Another stamp win, and it's the perfect time to get it. Arizona's riding that high horse right now. You know what I say? In the Big 12, you riding that high horse, get brought back down a little bit to earth. And I think this might be the bring back down to earth game for them. I got Kansas. Big time.
Okay. Well, I don't want to miss this comment. My co-hosts are coming through. Thanks, Sean. Sean also, he's talking about Michigan, not invincible, but he's really excited about that Michigan-Illinois game as we are. So thank you, sir, for chiming in. Look, I don't actually love Bill Self. I love the Rock Chalk Nation. I love them at Allen Fieldhouse. I do not like them on the road. They did beat Texas Tech on the road this year, so they've had tough wins, and that was with JT Toppin. But when I see Arizona play, those dudes are huge. They got that 7'2" guy in there, whatever his name, Privas or something.
Yes.
They've got some big guards that can stay in front. Kansas is going to have trouble scoring, and although Arizona doesn't shoot the 3 ball, I think that Kansas, I don't think they can rebound as much as they did against Houston in this one. I think Arizona is going to take care of business by a big number, actually. I'm like you with Duke. I think they're going to say, hey, we're the second best team in the country. We're coming for you, Duke. So I like Arizona winning at margin here. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're head to head, Cassanova, you and me.
That one, okay.
Where's the Oracle to break the tie? I don't know. He's somewhere.
Tiebreaker.
Snow on the East Coast. All right, last game on Saturday we're going to go over. This is Arkansas, 20th ranked at 7th, Florida at battle for the SEC. I think Florida's going to be a heavy favorite too, even though I don't know if they should be. 8.5 points is my estimate, 167.5 point total. I think this is actually an actual spread in total. This is 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. Hey, this is the game I've been looking for. Darius Acuff, that dude can ball. I don't know if you saw Billy Richmond. He's the left-handed guy for Arkansas. He can ball. You go against that gigantic front line of Florida. Their guards are good, but not as good as those guys. Who you got in this one, Cassanova?
Well. Guard play.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that can offset bigs is great guard play.
It is.
I think Florida's mad. Give me Florida. I'm not gonna lie. I think
you try to talk yourself into it.
Yeah, I tried to at first, but I do think the kid from Arkansas is gonna go crazy. I do. I still think he has.
Acuff, yeah. He'll score a bunch.
I think he's gonna score a bunch. But I think the problem is as the game wanes and everything like that, and the game goes down. I think that's when Florida starts to stack it up, and they show out of the team. I do. So, I'm going to take Florida in that game. I'm going to take Florida.
Yeah. Look, Florida. I already got a future. Mr. Moneyline's got a future of Florida to win the title again. So I gotta support my squad. But I think they're going to win this game. But I don't know, 8.5. If it's a big number, I think Arkansas can keep up. And I definitely like this game to be high scoring. I mean, I was sweating it a little bit last night. Arkansas was playing last night against A&M. I'm like, over 170.5. I'm like, that sounds like a lot. Let's go over. Oh, they blew past it. They score like 90 points. So I don't think Florida is going to slow the pace down. They like to play fast too.
Yeah.
So
track me.
It's not going to be Alabama, Arkansas like we saw last week, but I think this is going to be a really fun game. Athleticism. I want to see how good Acuff gets in the trees and with Condon and what's his name, the big for Florida. And those dudes, they have got dudes that come off the bench too. So it's going to be a great game at 7:30. I like Florida to win, but I don't think they're going to cover that number. I think it's too many points.
Okay.
All right, last game we got Iowa State, the 4th ranked at Arizona again. They got that back-to-back again. This time estimating Arizona to be a shorter favorite, 4.5 points, 142.5 point total estimate. This is Monday at 8 p.m. on ESPN Central Time, and then 9 o'clock Eastern. So who you got here, Kenny? You going back? You gonna do the cyclone dance? You gonna do the cyclone dance for us? Come on now.
I don't like Iowa State on the road.
Yeah.
I just don't like them on the road, man. I would pick them if it was the other way. And I think Arizona's going to be mad off losing to Kansas. So I'm going to take Arizona, sadly. But I am going to pick Arizona. I don't like Iowa State on the road. I don't. I love them at home. I love them on a neutral site. If this was a neutral site, then tournament time, we may be talking different. But them having to go to Arizona, a night game, 9 o'clock, prime time. It's like, give me Arizona. I'm gonna say Arizona in a close game though.
Yeah, it's Big Monday. It's Big Monday. This is big. This is when the big boys play. You're on center stage. It's like Monday Night Football. Everybody's watching. Yeah, I don't. it's the same thing I was saying about Kansas. I think Arizona's size will wear down Iowa State. I think they're a really good defensive team, but when push comes to shove, Arizona's got gigantic dudes that can run the floor. And as much as they don't shoot the three, like if Iowa State gets hot and they shoot a lot of threes, because they can, you saw what they did, against Houston and stuff, they can make jumpers. You're not going to do that against Arizona that much because they're just going to rebound everything. So to me, I like Arizona in this one too. I estimated the spread. I think I'm a little light here. It'll probably be like, especially if Arizona beats Kansas, it'll probably be like 6.5. So we'll see. Sean's got a great question for you. Here we go. Sean's come in with a question for Arizona. Has Arizona come to earth a little recently? Should still be a high seed, but they can be trusted to Final Four. Great question, Sean. So we talked about this a little bit earlier in the pod. It was good that they lost those games. They lost those games. They kind of got not humbled, but they kind of reshuffled the deck. To me, them winning at Houston showed me that they can get to the Final Four. Yes. No question. Right. Can they beat Duke? Can they beat Michigan? We'll see. But I think that they definitely are back. And this weekend, they could prove it. They beat Kansas and Iowa State at home. They're at home both times. But, what do you think, Cassanova?
Yeah, I agree. I kind of once I seen Arizona, have them little losses right there. But like you said, they just retooled and everything like that. I agree. They can be trusted to win the Final Four. Even more, if they sweep this weekend, I mean, we're talking about a team that could possibly, find themselves in the national championship game. Possible for sure, depending on where they get pulled out too. Like you never know where they're going to be, seated as far as where if they're going to be in the East, West, or wherever.
Yeah, if they win the Big 12 regular season title, and make it to the final even of the Big 12, tournament, I don't see how they're not a 1 seed, right? And they'll probably be the 2 overall seed past Michigan, because as much as I love the Big 10, I think the Big 12 is a little tougher, at least at the top.
Yes.
So, it's a great question, Sean. I appreciate that. We missed the con man. We missed the Oracle.
Yes.
I mean, it's just tough, man. We love that guy.
Yes,
the Oracle is he grounds us. He keeps us, on our feet on the ground. Hopefully he can fix the internet from last time. I'm going to switch back to this big mode because we got the ticker. Anything fun this weekend, Kenny, besides watching basketball? And why don't you talk about your Renegade? You're going to the network now, right?
Yeah, well, I can announce it now. Yeah, so the Renegade Rundown will be coming to PCSN, and I'm excited about that. We'll be premiering on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right before the Lockdown podcast, which my man's is on. I wanted to plug that as well. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff on there, me and my co-host. I'm excited, ready to get it going. So yeah, y'all definitely tune in, man. And also catch me on Sunday Night Hoops too, as well. We're getting that launched here Sunday as well. So I'm everywhere and anywhere, and I'll pop up at any moment. So y'all stay tuned.
Yeah, Mr. Casanova's everywhere. Well, remember to follow me at Wegs on X on Instagram, and I got the Side Action podcast on the side, but then I've got, for the network, we got the Lockdown podcast on Tuesday. But we are the Primetime College Hoops podcast. Thank you for all the comments today. It was very active. You could feel it. You could feel it because March is next week. And everybody's like, I want to hear the information. Tell us the information. We're going to give you the information. But we like to debate these things. So check us out next Thursday at the same time, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. All right, man. Well, thank you, sir. Hopefully the con man can fix his stuff. We'd like him to have, get back in next week and make it happen.
Definitely, man.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Take care. See y'all.
Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.